Okay, so Mark, I'd love to tell you about one of my favorite tools here. It's called the Getting What You Want tool, right? And this is really how you can take your business from uncertain to unstoppable. And I'm going to share with you 3 things that I think would be really great. The first one is this tool can really help you identify the best measurables to track for your scorecard. The second thing is when a number is off, how can we use this tool to get it back on track or figure out what's wrong? And the third thing is, how do we tie it back to either our customer journey or our core processes or what we expect out of our business? So let me walk you through the tool first. It's called the Getting What You Want tool, and it really starts here at the end. So if I want one new client each month, I got to ask myself, what do I really want from my business? If I want one new client each month, what's the step before that? I have to present 2 proposals. So if I present 2 proposals based on my known closing ratio, right? If I present 2 proposals per month, I should be able to close at 50% and get that one new customer a month. And if I keep going back to create these activities and identify the activities that ultimately get the result that I want, I take it back even further. I need to be able to create 2 proposals per month to present these 2 proposals per month to get my new client. And if I keep going back, I got to do 1 needs assessment or 4 per month. I have to have 2 first meetings each week. I got to make 4 contacts with prospects each week. And I need to add at least 8 new prospects each week, ultimately giving me that 1 new client per month. So when you're really struggling to identify those key measurables, really think about what's the result that I want from my business and just kind of whiteboard this out so that you can figure out what are the most important measurables that I need to track. You probably don't need to track every single one, but you'll track the most important ones. And so the other thing is, what do we do when something is off? We're just not getting the result that we want, or I'm not hitting those goals or measurables. We don't know where the bottlenecks are, but if you map this out, you should be able to identify where are we hitting, where are we missing? Is it tracked on a scorecard? Somewhere, whether it's the company or departmental scorecard. Maybe it is, maybe it should be, maybe it's not. And we can figure out where the bottlenecks are, where are we really off and what do we need to improve.
So you're saying that if I'm not getting, maybe if I'm not in this example, getting 1 new client per month, I can work it all the way back and find that maybe I'm not getting the 4 contacts per week.
Right. You can figure out where you're off, who's responsible for that, and maybe you have a people issue or a process issue, but it should help identify where you're hitting the mark, where you're missing the mark in your business, and who should be accountable for getting that back on track. And then the third thing is really tying it to your processes or maybe your customer journey or your life cycle. If you think about if you have a certain service level agreement or a certain expectation of customer service, you know, maybe your help desk has to be, every ticket has to be responded within 24 hours. Or maybe you need to onboard a new client within 7 days of contract signing, right? So if the ultimate goal is onboard a client within 7 days, if you start backtracking it out to identify the activities that you expect to ultimately get that result, then you can identify where are you tracking these activities, what should you be tracking it on what scorecard, and it's this continuous feedback loop to either help you identify when your processes are off and where the bottlenecks are, or where your people are not performing and you need to drive more accountability, ultimately getting you that result that you want. That's how you take your business from uncertain to unstoppable.
So Angela, you talked about this as a way to, if a process is gone, is not serving its need, right? It's not delivering on its output. How do I use this process specifically to help me diagnose where the opportunity for improvement might be?
Sure. So if you just start with the result and then backtrack it out, and then you start figuring out, are these activities actually happening, or maybe they're not? And so you can start identifying where your process is failing, where are the choke points or the bottlenecks, and you can figure out how to solve that, IDS it, so that you can bring it back to where it should be so that you can ultimately get that result that you want.